Bob McCreary, class of 2013, Wake Forest Hall of Fame. Bob, take us back. What was your very first impression of Wake Forest?
Well, I came from a very rural section of Caldwell County, so anything that was like a Wake Forest or like a campus was totally foreign to me when I got here. But as I've done in life, I found a way to adapt to it, and pretty soon I was extremely comfortable at Wake Forest, and I was for all the years that I was here.
What person was the most influential on you at Wake Forest in terms of your athletic career?
I would say perhaps Doc Martin as far as athletic career. I mean, Doc was the one that instilled a lot of desire in me. He actually nursed me back to health my sophomore year after a very severe knee operation the spring of my freshman year. And Doc would not let me quit. He said, "I'm going to get you better," and he did. And so I have to attribute a lot to him. But also, Coach Bill Hildebrand, I admire him a great deal too. But we had some great people here.
Bob, was there a specific faculty or staff member who also had a great influence on you from your academic career?
Definitely. There were actually two of them, and both of them were in the communication department, Dr. Smiley and Professor Walton. They, because I was, as a sophomore, I didn't really know precisely what I was going to be doing, but I took a communications class, and I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed them. So it really was my way through. They were very instrumental in my career here.
Okay. What was your favorite moment playing for the Demon Deacons?
Oh, that's easy. 1960, we went to Chapel Hill, play Carolina, and my roommate and teammate and fraternity brother, Bill Skipon, had been diagnosed with leukemia, acute leukemia, which at that time it was very deadly very quickly. And we dedicated the game to Skip. And I played I played the game of my life. And at the end of the game, I went over and got the ball and ran to the sidelines and gave it to Skip on. That was my greatest memory at Wake Forest as far as sports. And
I've read you actually lined up at center on that final play in order to ensure that you had the game ball?
I did.
Okay.
I told the center to go over there and go over to the right tackle, and I'll take care of the ball. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
In your years, very successful years since leaving Wake Forest, is there any particular piece of information or knowledge that you learned here at Wake Forest that has been kind of a particular guiding light for you?
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of things, but I would say the Wake Forest actually gave me a foundation to work from, and really Wake Forest helped organize my life, and so it was a springboard for my years to come, and taught me not to give up, and that's been kind of my motto all my life. Don't give up.
All right. Last question, Bob. What does it mean to you to be inducted into the Wake Forest Sports Hall of Fame?
Well, it's an incredible honor. I was very pleasantly surprised when I was advised of that, and it's quite an honor. And the nice thing is that I'm going to be able to share this tonight with my family and my good friends. That is very important to me, to be able to share this honor with those people.
Thank you, Bob.
All right.
It's Bob McCreary, Wake Forest Sports Hall of Fame inductee for class of 2013.
Our first inductee this evening is Mr. Bob McCreary. Bob, you acted surprised. Didn't you know that you were going to be inducted tonight? Yeah. We're changing the order here a little bit. Bob is the first inductee from Lenoir, North Carolina. He was known in high school as Big Bob. He was an honorable mention All-State football player at Hudson High School and was inducted into the Caldwell County Sports Hall of Fame. When he came to Wake Forest in 1957, he immediately injured his knee, but still managed to come back that fall. He injured it in the spring of actually 1958, but that fall came back and became a starter on our team. He doubled his playing time as a junior. After his playing career was completed at Wake Forest, he was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in the 1961 NFL draft. He was the 65th player taken in that draft, and he ended up being a starter for the Dallas Cowboys in 1961. He went on to found the McCreary Modern Furniture Company in 1986. And if there's one thing about Bob McCreary that I think we will all recognize is that he is as loyal of a person as you will ever meet. He is not only loyal to this university and to our program, he is loyal to individuals as well. Bill Skipon is a person who died of leukemia, and Bob has honored him over and over and over, one of his former teammates. In addition to that, if you look at our video board in the football stadium, Bob McCreary donated that video board, and who did he recognize on the video board? The class of 1961. This is a special, special individual who is very deserving of our recognition of being a Hall of Fame member for what he achieved athletically at Wake Forest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next Hall of Fame member, Mr. Bob McCreary.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. This is really an incredible honor. And as I have been throughout my life, I feel blessed to be here tonight and to be an honoree. But the thing that makes this night so special to me is the fact that I can celebrate a special occasion with my family and friends. That makes it all worthwhile, because you can have all the accolades in this world, but if you can't share it with someone, what is it? What's it worth? And at this time, I'd like to recognize, people that make this a special night for me. First of all, I'll start with my mother. Without her, I wouldn't be standing here tonight, literally. Not only for giving birth to me, but the sacrifices my mother made over the years, it's incredible. I can never repay her for what she did, the things she did. So, I mean, thanks to her, I'm where I am today. So a special thanks to my mother, my wife and soulmate, Michelle, 30 years, very integral part of my life. And I'm so proud tonight to have my son, Robert, his wife, Michelle, and my two lovely grandkids, Cash and Kate. And they're quite right now. I don't know how much longer that will be. But it's just so great having them with me. And then my brothers, Max and Larry, and their wives. So it's a very special time. And at the far table over there, 5 of my fraternity brothers, our friendship spans well over 50 years now. That's hard to believe. But just like this afternoon when we got together again, it's like, time has stood still. We picked up right where we were 50 years ago, and it's just amazing having you guys here tonight. And I thank you so much for coming. And there are certainly a couple people missing that would make this night even more special for me. First of all, my youngest son, Christian, who we tragically lost 4 years ago. I miss him, having him here. Even my kid brother, Danny, we lost 7 years ago. My best buddy in college, my best buddy and teammate and fraternity brother, Johnny. We lost him, but I'm very happy to have his widow, Bess, here tonight, standing in for Johnny, and she does that extremely well. Thank you, Bess, for coming. And then one other person I have to mention, and there's probably no one in this room that doesn't have a story about this guy. Right, Bradley? You know who I'm going to say, don't you? Doc Martin. He was so instrumental in my actually succeeding and staying in school at Wake Forest. And I think you could talk to a lot of other ex-athletes that was here during Doc's era, which was 1958 to 1980, 22 years, that he was that instrumental in their lives too. I can remember, as Ron Wellman said, my freshman year spring game, played the entire game, last play, it happens. I tear medial collateral. That's the end of your career back then. A lot of people, I mean, it was the end. But I had the operation, and that summer, that's when Doc started, came to Wake Forest, and he started working with me. And then we started fall practice, and after about a week, I just said, I can't do it. And I can remember one day literally just hobbling off the field, I'm sure I was in tears, saying, I can't do it. I'm going home. I can't do it. Doc followed me in. And you guys that had experiences with Doc, you can imagine what he said. You're not going to quit. You're not a quitter. I want to get you better. You're going to play. Now you get your big thing back out on that field and go after it. Yes, Doc, I will. So he was just so instrumental. I mean, he really he inspired me. So that was, I mean, I miss those people, and so I'm indebted to them. And I don't forget people that have been instrumental in making my life what it is today. And that's the nice thing about sharing this with people here tonight. My trip from Hudson, North Carolina to Wake Forest was quite a journey. How did I get there? I'd never seen a football game until I was a freshman in high school. Where I grew up, in the very remote area of Caldwell County, there were no sports in the middle schools or elementary school. When I was 14 years old, I happened to be 6'3" and weighed about 210. And the coach found me. He said, "Boy, you should play football." I said, "Okay, nothing else to do." So I did, and then I was a good big football player, not great. And then, again, where individuals make a difference in your life. My senior year, the summer before my senior year, we had a coaching change. And this new coach came in, and he built a fire under me. He inspired me. And there was no one that could block me, or that I couldn't tackle, or that I couldn't run over. I mean, he put that in my mind. And thanks to him, that year, I had several D1 scholarship offers. I chose Wake Forest. I've never been sorry one day that I did that. That was absolutely the best of my decisions. And it certainly made my mom happy, and said I decided to go to Wake Forest instead of Clemson. She thought Frank Howard was a bad man. So, but it's been, you know, my days at Wake Forest were just wonderful. And Wake Forest was really, that was the platform for my life. I mean, I have so much to be thankful for the years I had at Wake Forest, and for what the care that I got here. And the thing is, when you're going through school, you don't understand exactly what you're receiving yet. It's only afterwards that you know how much people cared. And then I think one of the keys for me is don't forget those people and those institutions. Give back to those people that have been so good to you. And I've been very fortunate. I came from nowhere, nothing. I mean, we grew up, we were a very poor family, but I've been blessed. And nothing gives me greater pleasure than to give back to the people and the institutions that have been so instrumental in the success that I've had. So this is a great honor. I thank you, I think, for the nomination, and I accept it with great humility. And go Deacons.